We initially got the call the night before. Actually, Maui 911 had received an emergency call, super brief, some hikers saying that they were lost, didn't have any food, any water, no lights. By the time we were informed, it was around like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. They were able to get like a rough GPS ping off of their cell phone. So the following morning, myself, Catlin and Dusty all headed out to Station 14 so we could jump on Chopper 2 first light. Chopper 1 was already on scene doing aerial searches, trying to find the people. After a few hours of searching unsuccessfully, we landed, refueled, and kind of came up with a plan. The last GPS ping was way off the trail. There was no LZs. So on the west side of that valley, there was a ridge where there was an LZ that we could set down on. Landed, started making our way down the trail towards the cliff's edge. So I just kind of yelled as loud as I could, and I heard a response. I heard help or over here, but they're super faint. So I looked at Heilaku, I was like, did we really just hear that? So yelled again, got a response. So we could hear them, but we couldn't see them. So we started yelling at them, shake a tree, shake a branch. So we're looking at this ridge closer to us, and we're not seeing anything. Heilaku grabs my shoulder and points all the way across the valley and goes, look over there, you see that? And I couldn't even see it at first. And then I was amazed because I saw this little tree shaking all the way on the other side, and I thought no way we'd be able to hear them there. We were able to get like a visual confirmation of where they were. We let Captain Loyola know, both the choppers just kind of communicated it. So me and Heilaku made our way back to the LZ. Chopper 1 landed, and we kind of came up with a plan between ourselves, Scott Shiroma and Paul Daryl. And we decided that we would extricate the patients one at a time using the Billy Pugh net. I harnessed up, clipped into the basket, made the first insertion. Even though we had located them from the other ridge, it was still pretty difficult to find exactly where they were because the canopy and the tree cover was so thick. And Paul inserted me through the canopy. It was super impressive what those guys all do. All of the chopper pilots are all pretty amazing. It was tiny little puka, couldn't have been more than like 8 feet across. So he inserted me for the first one. Got a little hung up in some branches on the way down and kind of ended up sideways hanging in the Billy Pugh net. Had to kind of break the branches with my arm. And once I did, I dropped a little and then landed maybe 4 feet away from where the people were. Paul did his thing, and we got myself and the patient out through that super tiny puka, and we were on our way back to the LZ. Paul took me back for that second insertion. I was definitely I would say scared, a little nervous for that second one, but as I said, Paul especially, but all the pilots do such an amazing job that on that second insertion, didn't even touch a leaf on the way in, landed, put me perfectly in the spot, loaded the patient up. As he pulled us out, didn't touch a leaf again, so absolutely nailed the second one. We were able to take the patient back to the LZ. Landed again, both of them were all right, so Chopper 1 took off, then Chopper 2 landed. They then ferried the patients over to the LZ at the top of Pololu Lookout, where Medic 15 was waiting. Assessed them, they both denied any EMS, and they were on their way. And I didn't learn until later from some of the other guys that were in Chopper 2. While they were watching, the pilot of Chopper 2, Jesse Hudson, was telling them how extremely difficult what Paul was doing and how it was making him nervous just watching it. Super appreciative and super thankful to have someone as skilled of a pilot as Paul flying. Because at the end of the day, anyone could have done what I did. I'm just the guy in the basket. It's the chopper pilots that are the pretty remarkable guys. One of the greatest contributing factors to the successful outcomes of a lot of these rescues is the support that we get from the Daniel Sayre Foundation and the equipment that they provide us. Without them, we wouldn't have the tools that are necessary, because at the end of the day, you're nothing without your tools. So the helicopters are tools and phenomenal tools. The Billy Pugh net, my harness that I was wearing. These are all things that the Sayres help to facilitate, and generous donors like all of you here tonight